Hello fellow modelers, my name is Brian Banna and welcome to my modeling time. I'm not going to go into a long introduction or anything like that, so let's get into the heart of what this video is about. Yesterday I received my order for 4 ScaleTrains SD45s. I don't really have a reason to have any SD45s. The railroad that I model doesn't roster any, but I've always been complaining about manufacturers not doing any undecorated models. And ScaleTrains announced these last year, and I thought, you know, I should probably get some and do something with, see what I could do with them. Well, doing a little bit of research on the SD45, I found the exact prototypes that I wanted to do. And so I ordered 4 of the models. There was only 4 of them. 3 of them were the same. The 4th one was a little bit different. But you'll have to wait till the build videos to see what these are. But from that description, some of you might understand what these will be. So I'm not going to bore you with the unboxing because they're not in the boxes anymore. As soon as I got them, I knew I was going to build them, so I immediately took them out and put them in their build box. So they're all sitting in here. The baggies all have, the large baggie that comes with them all has the smaller baggies in with it, so there's 4 baggies in there with the parts for each locomotive. And I've put all of my modeling projects aside because I want to get these done. So right now, let me get one of these out, get all the parts out so that we can do a bit of a review on it. I think you'll like this review. I've already looked them over, so I know what I'm going to say. And this isn't one of those first time, everybody sees it the first time unboxing things. This is going to be an honest, respectful review of the undecorated ScaleTrains SD45. So let me get the camera repositioned, get this all out, and we can go over this, this model and talk about it a little bit. Alright, so I've got a couple of the models out. One of them I've completely disassembled, and one of them is as it comes out of the box. So you get 3 baggies. You get the baggie with the handrails and underframe fascias in them. You get a medium-sized baggie, or that was the large baggie. You get a medium-sized baggie with all the detail parts, underframe parts, cab sides, truck parts, sanding hoses, cab interior parts, and such. And then you get a small bag. Oh, there's 4 baggies, sorry. You get a small baggie with all the photo etched and cast brass parts. And you get a little bit bigger than small baggie with all the glass parts in it and such. So I've gotten a few parts out that I'll go over that I thought would be good to show you up close. But first, let's get up close and look at the shell. So I got the shell. So let me zoom in a little bit. Hopefully this won't get too close and blur. How's that? Okay, so as far as the shell goes, the detail rendering is excellent. The door latches, the hinges, the line work, no tooling marks, the rivets, everything is really, really well done. See the roof? See that? There we go. I'll do the side again. That's the other part was blurry, so you can see the left side here. I'm sorry, the right side. We got the roof, the long hood end, and the left side. And the nose. Now, this is the Pennsylvania Railroad version, so that's why you see the grab iron holes on the left side of the nose, and you'll see where the the signal box will go in on the right side of the nose. Now going over the hood here, I have only one issue, and it's a minor issue, but it's there. And that is the class lights are slightly oval shape. They're not round, they're slightly oval. You can see that in this view here. The other thing that I had a slight issue with, but it's not an issue, was the class light glass was glued in. Now, at first I was looking at it and like, oh crap, I'm gonna have to try to pry those out. But ScaleTrains uses I don't know what kind of glue it is, but it's got a vinyl texture to it, and it pulls out really, really easy. So that wasn't an issue, so I don't have an issue with that anymore. The glass is angled with the nose angles, so it's not straight on. And there's a reason for that. It's because when they make these things, the molds have to pull straight out. So they don't have a mold that pulls out perpendicular to the nose, to the angle of the nose. It pulls out in line with the hood. So the holes have to go straight in, otherwise they wouldn't be able to get the mold slides out. So that's the ellipticalness. I'm not really going to ding them on that. It really shouldn't be there, but it's very minor once you get the model all done. And looking straight on them, a straight on view like this, you don't really see it. It's only when you look at them at their perpendicular angle to you. Other things to mention about the hood, which I think is really nice, the mold parting lines that go where the hood rolls around, the top of the hood rolls around to the long hood end, where the nose top rolls around and all the mold pieces go together. The mold parting lines are very light. So when taking these off and cleaning them up, you will not have change any of the contour. It's very, very simple to clean up those parting lines. Other than that, I don't have any issues with the molding. It's really nice. This is going to be a really nice model to work on. Now, I'm not going to go over the drive. That's a separate thing to go over, and all the electronics. I'm going over the modeling part of this. But I just wanted to show you. Let me zoom out here. I just wanted to give you a good look-see at what the inside looks like. This is very heavy, and it'll track really well while operating. I like the weight of this. I'm pretty sure, I haven't taken this apart, but I'm pretty sure the speaker goes underneath here. The fuel tank is beautiful. It's got the scallops on the bottom. It's got the end sheets. It's got the top sheet detail. So this is a really, really nicely done. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got the fuel tank drain block on the back. So that's really well done. The trucks, I really like the trucks. They're thick. The thickness of the side frames gives the model a look of heft when it's sitting on the rails. The only other thing that I have to mention about the molding or the design, there's a little too much bolster spring showing here and here on the trucks, but that is very, very minor. Doesn't detract from the model at all. The springs look good. They look hefty. They're not weak looking in it or anything like that. Now, also a nice thing is you got separate journal caps to put on. So in case you have open bearing caps, this model comes with the Hyatt roller bearings, so they're closed. Of course, because it's a Pennsylvania model. I'm sure for other models there'll be different caps on them. So that's really nice. And it also looks like they have the options to be able to put the square or sloped journals on there. So that's something that maybe we can look forward to in the future. So far, only the two issues that I've come up with, but those issues are extremely small and not anything as a game changer. So So far, like I said, can't find any issues with these that I can really say, oh, we got to look at that. So, tooling, excellent. Design, excellent. Now, the way this model goes together or assembles is also an excellent feature. I've got it taken apart here. So you've got the shell. Where did I put the shell? Oh, here it is. So you got the shell as one piece, excellent. You've got the deck as one piece, excellent. Cab subbase, excellent. Cab itself, excellent. And of course the dynamic brake hatches and stuff like that. The one thing I want to show you on the dynamic brake hatch is the grills are molded as individual fins. So that's really nice. Behind that will be the resistor grids. It's got a really nice detail up on the roof. So it's got all the overlap joints and such, and the you know, all the necessary bolt heads or rivet heads or whatever's going on there. I'll talk about the fans in a minute. So the cab, deck, and sub base basically go together. So a screw will go through the bottom of here on each side, and you see there's the screws there, and it'll hold the sub base snugly down to the deck. The cab has a really nice tab and slot system that fits into the sub base very nicely. They come apart really, really well, and when they snap together, it really holds the cab down tight against the sub base. Now, if you have a if you have a decorated model and your cab is not fitting snug against the base, let me see, where am I? Here we go. And your cab is not sitting snug against the base, what you'll probably want to do is take it apart, and there might be a little bit of extra paint on the bottom of the cab, and so if you can just scrape that off and get it to fit down well, you'll probably be much happier with the fit. So the front light system comes apart. It's all taped. You'll see there's some tape on here. There's a screw underneath here that'll hold together, but it goes up in there and it screws into the holes you see in the top of the cab. So the lighting system is very well thought out and goes together real nicely. The cab itself, very, very well detailed. It's got good no tooling marks. The windows look nice. Everything looked really, really well on another plus on this. The thing that I didn't like is the number boards. The number board housing was glued, 2 pins were glued into the cab, so I had to snap those off. Now that's not a big deal on the undecorated model. On the decorated models it might be, because whoever assembles these things, on this one it wasn't assembled tightly, so there were gaps around it. On the decorated models, hopefully they'll push it up tight against the cab and then glue it in. I like how the number boards go in. That'll be great. Even though I had to snap these off, it'll be very easy for me when it's time to glue them in to get everything up snug against the cab face and close up all those gaps. So not a big deal on the undecorated models. On the decorated models, you might want to check that. As you can see on this one, this is what I'm talking about. There's a little bit of a gap over here, but it's glued on this side. Over here, it's not glued. So you see when I pull it apart, let me see if I can get that. There's a little gap opening up, so I'll snap that side off and take care of that just like I did with this one. On the deck, the one thing I really like about this is the first company that's done correct shaped jacking pads on their models. I'm not talking about, Canon company hasn't done it, because Gordon did a beautiful job on his. But for a assembled or a undecorated model or even a decorated model, these are beautifully done. You could probably put etched steps in, but I'm not going to. The steps look really nice. I don't see any reason why I need to change out the steps. zoom in here because what I want to show you here, this is a really nice part. You can see that. I don't know if we can get that. There we go. That's the jacking pad itself. Really, really well done. No modeling company has ever done the jacking pads like that. So that'll fill in that area behind the jack pad. Really, really nice. I'm really happy with that. This is the rear light housing. Again, I got tape on it to keep the screws where they're supposed to be. And all of the clear parts fit very nicely into that. So that's good. What do we got here? I've got the dynamic brake resistor grid, really nicely rendered. That'll look nice behind those open grills. Exhaust stack, again, real nice. I mean, it's quality. Inertial filter hatch, I mean, typical, good quality. It's got the open grill for the dust bin. Radiator grills, I find them to be exceptionally well done. They look really good. This is one of the detail parts. This is the one of the traction motor cables. I love how they did it. And what's really nice too is all of them are in the correct bundling for where they go. Really, really well thought out. Nice that they paid attention to that and got those right. So that'll look good underneath. Before I get to some of the cast parts, in this package they gave me both 4 and 3 cluster MU hoses. Let me see if I can get that. And real nicely done. You've got the 3 outer hoses that are thinner, and then the 1 inner hose that's a little bit thicker. They did their homework on that. Real nicely done. I don't have to use anybody else's MU hoses. There's a little bit of cleanup on these, and they look great. I really like them. That's another thing that model companies need to do, is pay attention to some of these smaller, what they consider insignificant parts, but are significant. And then they gave me the 3 hose cluster, or they put in the package a 3 hose cluster. Again, very, very nicely done. Now, something that I'm really happy to see, these horns, I won't be using this horn because this isn't the type of horn that I need, but these horns are exceptional. I wish that ScaleTrains would do a whole line of just the cast brass horns. Wow, these are really, really nice. The bell, another very beautifully done piece. It's got good detail, good shape, really well done. Footboards, they're kind of plain, but they'll work. I have my own footboards that I did a while ago, but these ones will work just fine. Nice etching. Now the drop step, this I believe should have been done in plastic. And the only reason why I say it should have been done in plastic is because on the front, let me show you the front here. On the front, there should be a face that follows around the contour of the drop step. It shouldn't be this thin. But this drop step's well done. Have to do a little bit of bending to get the sides to go straight down, but it's a nice piece. I might take a piece of styrene and put that face on there. Oh, let me put that there. Put that face on the front of the step, but very, very nice part. And the grills for the dynamic brakes and the radiator, what's cool is they etched in there that needs to be down, and that's the top. These are nicely done. Now the Canon and Company etchings are nicer because they have the detail where the radial grill supports go into the pan. These grills here are double etched, so you do have some depth to them, and really nicely done. So I have to say, and they're spiral, which is good. They need to be spiral, so that's nice work on that, ScaleTrains. Now, as far as the fans go, for the model, they're great. I mean, for somebody who doesn't want to replace their fans with the Canon fans, these fans are great. I'll be replacing them with Canon fans for only two reasons. One, let me get my pointer out. This part of the fan housing, the shroud or the fan guard, it should be even with the outside edge of the base. The other reason is these hold downs, the fan guard hold downs, they shouldn't go all the way down. They should only go to where the base meets the fan guard, but they shouldn't go down this far. And the Canon fan guard is a little bit taller and a little bit more correct than these should be a little bit taller. But for the model itself, to build it out of the box, this is excellent. That's not anything to detract from the model. I'm just doing it because I can, and I like the look of the Canon fans and such. So let me see, is there anything else I need to talk about with this thing? Oh yes, I do. But before I get to it, I just want to give an overall opinion of what I've seen right now. And everything that I've seen here, I give out of 100%, I give it a 99.5. This model is what I would consider to be an excellent static kit build. Even though it's not a static kit, but it's like that. It'll go together like a really nice static model kit. So I'm really looking forward to building this model. It's got some exceptional detail on it. ScaleTrains really did a good job on this model. I can't find anything that I can really just harp on that's bad. The two things that I pointed out, the elliptical class lights and the slightly too much spring showing in the truck, that's minuscule. That's not, it doesn't really even register on a scale of, you know, is it a game changer? It's nothing. Now, what is something, and it's not something that only ScaleTrains has a problem with, it's something that all manufacturers have a problem with. That being handrails. These are fairly straight. Let me zoom back out. But not quite 100% straight. They do undulate back and forth just a little bit. They do bow in ever so slightly. I mean, just slightly. But that's because they're trying to make them scale. And in model form, and this is just my opinion, in model form, I think it's okay to slightly oversize the handrails so that they stay straight. Because you build a beautiful model like this, and then you put on wavy handrails, it kills the model. These handrails need to be dead straight. Unfortunately, I'm probably gonna have to try to either put brass handrails on, or maybe if I can drill these out and put wire through them, but they're awfully thin, and I don't know if I can. I might be able to, on a few of them, get a 10,000ths drill bit through them, but I don't know if I can consistently do that. I'm going to give it a try. The other option I might do, and I know people are going to cringe at it, but I may use Kato SD40-2 handrail stanchions drilled out for wire. The thing about these stanchions, though, is on the back here, you'll see these tabs. Those fit in to these deck holes. So if I do Kato stanchions, then I'll have to cut those tabs off. I have to cut these tabs off and glue them into the deck. Now what I also have that I can help hide this feature after I glue everything together is a while ago I also had some stanchion brackets etched up that I can put there, and that'll hide any seams that may show up and stuff. So I have all the stanchion brackets that I would need for doing any handrails. I'll probably go the Kato SD40-2 handrail stanchions. I bought a whole bunch of them. They're not that bad. They're better than the Kato SD45 or GP35 stanchions. They're scaled down just a little bit, but they have a good head on them that I can get a drill bit through and stuff. So I'm not calling that a game changer either. I'm just saying that all manufacturers need to redesign their handrail sets. This is great in its scale, but if it was straight and it would stand up straight, no issue at all. But on a high quality model like this just doesn't work. I don't want to harp on it, and I don't want to call anybody out on it. I just believe the manufacturers need to address their handrails and stanchions to give their model a better look. And let me give you a for instance here. Let me move this out of the way. I know people are gonna hurl when they see this, but it doesn't bother me because they're straight. This is a Kato GP35 that I'm building into a GP28. These stanchions and handrails, yes, they are oversized quite a bit. But I accept that because they run straight and true and they stand up straight and true. Now I could put brass wire in there and size them down, you know, get the correct handrail size on them, but you got to run into the problem of, since these handrails and the stanchion heads match the handrail diameter, you put thinner wires in them and you got a gigantic handrail head or stanchion head. So I'm of the opinion, and I know that there are many prototype purists out there that are going to call me out on it, but that's okay. We all have our opinions, and mine is, I don't mind oversized handrails as long as they match, or I'm sorry, as long as they run straight and true and the stanchions stand straight up. I mean, if these things were grossly oversized, yeah, you could call these grossly oversized, but I still think that if they're done right, I've scraped the small parting line off of them, I've cleaned them up, I've grit blasted them, and I've put a thin coat of paint on them. I think they're okay. They don't, in my opinion again, they do not detract from the model, where a wavy scale handrail and stanchion leaning in, I do believe will detract from the model, but that's all I'm going to say about it. It's up to you with what you want to do. I just wanted to get that out. So overall, I give the model a 99.5% rating of excellence. I think ScaleTrains did a fantastic job on this model, and I am looking very much forward to disassembling all 4 of these and start working on them, which I'll do a video build on all 4 of them at the same time. It's just going to be fun, and I think you'll enjoy that video. So I hope I have been informative for you to help you make a decision to go with or whatever you decide to do with the model. The tooling, exceptional. I have to give the guys at ScaleTrains a big thumbs up that they really did a good job on this model. I think a lot of people will be happy with their undecorated models. The nice thing that I like about undecorated models is I can go through each part, make sure everything's cleaned up, make sure the fit is perfect before it's glued in place, and everything will go together really, really well, like a well-fitting glove. So again, I hope that I gave you some good information, and I appreciate you watching this video, and take care, everybody. Happy modeling.